Alright, welcome back to Kentucky Route Zero. So in the last episode we what I, there was Big Al. I remember that much. Big Al is on a boat. That's pretty much where we're at right now. Also we learned a little bit about Conway's past. So apparently he might have been an alcoholic and there might have been some issues with that and him driving as well. So maybe he had an accident of some sort, so I'm not sure. But that seems to have been an issue, or it seems to be something in his past that he's dealing with. And also, apparently we fucked up. Apparently we may have made a deal that we shouldn't have made a deal with. But who knows? We have until the morning to turn around and deal with that. So I think that's pretty much it. We're on a boat with Big Al. Let's get to it. Sure. Wait, who am I? That's Will. Singing quietly. For we on mold and whiskey fed, and the Shannon. Oh. Wet gears? Did you build this thing? Huh, no. This thing's probably older than I am. Got some gray in her pelt. There. Calcium deposits, I guess. To be honest with you, I'm not really qualified for this work. Kate's a friend. You know how it goes. How it is, don't you? How do you know each other? So... ever walk through rolling farmland? Yeah, I live in the South, so yeah. Sure, along the highway. Along the highway, that's what I mean. Or smaller roads. Well, I sure did. I slipped under or over fences, and I walked barefoot with the seeds when they were just planted. I tilled the earth with my toes. Hey, I should tell you where I left my shoes. Did you know I'm a classically trained organist? It's true. Look at these long fingers and pedal gripping toes. It doesn't matter. A minor in French literature earned me, or is that a minor in French literature earned me a position teaching Artois to Zola at the university. Artaud? I don't know. This game is really challenging my vocabulary. It's also 2 o'clock in the morning, so I'm already challenged anyway. Well, some shitty governor cut state funding for our department, and I was demoted to mopping floors, running wire through walls or in dangerous places. I even operated the soundboard at the student theater. It's definitely something that we don't lack in the South. Shitty governors. I left my shoes there at the university. It was a protest. Walk without shoes for something important or tragic that might be counterproductive. I ended up by the shore. Soon I was drifting along the Echo. It ran for a while above the ground then. It doesn't anymore, but I prefer subterranean waters anyway. Kate brings me along, and I record what I see and hear. I try to help with maintenance. I drop off the mail and pick up the trash. On occasions, I take the helm. Anyway, that's all I try to remember anymore. I listen to the river's stories, and my own stories get fainter and fainter. Oh, if you talk to Kate, could you ask her when she stops for gas? Could she pick me up a scratch ticket? Thanks. My vocabulary is a little challenged right now. To the other side of the boat. What is that? Is that a person laying up there? Is that blue? Or is that a different dog? It might be a different dog. Also, I didn't remember Shannon's hair being that long, but I guess she had enough to put in a ponytail. How's the cold river spray treating you? I thought I saw you squinting. It's hard water, you know. Hard on the eyes. It still irritates mine a little. And I'm pounding a tugboat through 6 nights a week. Don't be too shy to close them in public. Your eyes, I mean. People will just assume you're thoughtful. You need tea. So, oh God. Agrosab agarita. Definitely. Peppermint, dried spring, agate. That. Milk thistle and dried reishi. Mother of God. And I don't have my glasses on. It's even better. What are all those for? I should have never asked that. Eye strain. Dry spring agaricus. Mask the taste of the rest of it. Dried reishi in particular has an eccentric flavor profile. It's mushroom based. I'm a big believer in the fungal pharmacy. You know, I can just see it now. Somebody's gonna light my ass up by that pronunciation. Let's see. Is that your dog? So it's not my dog. Okay. Yeah, that's Valkyrie. Call her Val. She's a rescue. Isn't she dignified? I've always thought so. Is that your cat too, below deck? Huh? I thought that was your cat. Came on board with you at the bureau. Or did you give it bread? Because I wanted to give it bread. Well, it wouldn't be the first time some strange animal hitched a ride. Hope you enjoy the trip on our little mammoth. Take advantage of all the amenities. Fresh air, cozy bunks, hot tea, the video room. There's some pretty interesting tapes down there, actually. Unusual, I mean. Weird. Watch out, that VCR doesn't take your hand off, though. It's untrustworthy. A VCR that's untrustworthy. Again, our VCR has tore up a lot of tapes. We have some old-ass tapes, though. So they probably kind of deserve to be jacked up. What's wrong with the VCR? I could take a look. Oh, please do. I don't know anything about electronics. Maybe try a few different tapes. You'll get the picture. Hey, wink, wink. Is that a dad joke? I saw you talking to Will. He's an old friend. Don't be fooled by that burned-out aura. He's a smart and kind man. I think his only advice is those silly scratch tickets. Speaking of which, we're coming up on our next stop shortly. We're fueling and picking up a few things. Well, eyes on the road. Haha. Ezra runs up to Shannon. Oh, slow down. It's slippery on deck. Do you have batteries? Yeah, of course. What for? Johnny said I could use his tape recorder, but it needs a battery. Oh, fun. Well, Shannon searches her pocket. Here's 4 different kinds. Surely one of these should fit. Thank you. And now I'm Ezra. Now that I think about it, what is Ezra? Don't remember that being defined. Not that it matters, but just curious. Them visuals. Musician. Musicians. Johnny, the June bug. Really? You were in trance. You don't remember this? It's okay. We've all seen a lot of concerts. Who's Clara? Serrano opened up. His tape machine was broken or something. It got really cosmic. Right, at the flower shop. I remember that show. Sorry, Clara. Well, you have a second chance to hear it tonight. To Ezra. That was fast. Got the batteries? Let's see. Perfect. This one will do. So you hit this button here to record. Hold it right here so you don't cover the microphone with your hand. I bet you'll find a lot of good sounds just around the tugboat. There's plenty of tape in there, so don't be stingy with it. Just record anything that catches your ear. It really changes the way you listen, for the better, I mean. How long is the trip? We got a ways to go, and this boat makes pretty frequent stops. I think Kate said we're moving pretty slowly tonight too. Weather. Kate said we could stop at the rum colony. Serrano's playing. Well, that's ideal. I'm supposed to meet a lady there to look at some old engine parts about 3 hours ago. 3 hours goes fast at the rum colony, ma'am. I bet she's still there. I hope we don't stop there too long. My concert is soon. I don't want to keep them waiting. Nah, it's river time. Nobody expects you to be punctual. To Ezra. Hey, why don't you give that tape recorder a try? See if that cat over there has anything he wants to say. I often use found sounds in my music. If you find some interesting sounds tonight, you can help me out. Wait, so I'm gonna record the cat. I may end up hearing this or not. I only have one earbud in, so. Okay. Conway, are you drinking? Wait, why is he missing his arm? What the hell? You know, it's the strangest thing. I can't remember why I came up here. Maybe you should slow down. Nah, I'm good. It's just that thing about, what was it? When you walk through a door. When you go into the kitchen for something, and as soon as you pass from one room to another, you forget what you wanted. You have to walk back out just to remember. Like you left a part of your brain behind. Yeah, I wonder if I could follow that brain crumb trail all the way back to the room I was born in. Conway cranes his neck over the railing. You were driving for hours. Get any sleep? You found beer. There's a cooler full down there. They say it's just floated by, if you believe that. Got caught on some netting and they hauled it aboard. A bounty. Anyway, there's a sign by the cooler. Take what you need and leave the rest. Fair, Conway. I don't think you need any. Shannon leans over the railing and looks at the river below. There's all kinds of trash down here. Could have fallen off the hull back there. I think that kid was playing on the trash barge earlier. He seems to keep himself entertained. It's good for him. It's important to know how to be alone. What's up, huh? Look like there's something you want to ask. Fine, you can ask it. One question. I thought you didn't drink. Well, I didn't. I mean, I did, and then I didn't, and then I did again. That's how it always goes. I drift out. Finally wind up back at Lysette's with my head between my legs, saying never again. 15 months this last time. I think I hung on because I knew there wouldn't. there wouldn't for much longer be anywhere to go back to. She went to live with her sister now, and she probably won't remember me for long anyway. So does she has Alzheimer's? Because it seemed like she was forgetting certain things, and Conway had to remind her of certain things the last time. When they showed her at the beginning of episode 3, I think it was? Chapter 3? So, One time she picked me up out of the ditch by the road, blackout drunk at dawn. Came around later that night. She'd taken care of me. I told her I didn't deserve it, and she said I didn't have to deserve it. She sounds like a saint. We should all have someone like that. Truth. Well, you wouldn't say that if you knew her when she was younger. The girl was wild. I guess she got her own problems now. I wish I could help her out. Well, help out. Hey, maybe I can make some money and send it to her sister. Maybe they'll keep me on at the distillery. I mean, oh, I shouldn't get ahead of myself. I've got to repay my debt. Hell, I should be grateful for the opportunity. If you want to die with any dignity, you've got to settle up. No shit, I didn't get a chance to read the rest of that. This damn artwork, Jesus, it's beautiful. I'm sure I talk too much. Everyone on this river does. The problem is that we listen twice as much as that. We're only telling you half of the stories we hear. Kate told me that I ought to have been a photographer. She said, "You have an uncanny way of having been in the place at the time the thing happened there, and that's the hardest part of taking a photograph anyway." Nice of her to say, but it isn't true. Though I know just about every story on this river, most of them I've picked up second, third, or fourth hand, and so on. Listening, see? Now I know what you're gonna ask, so I'm gonna answer it. Yes, I'm sure they're all true. I personally believe a story gets more true as it's tossed around from brain to brain, and the whole community brings their insight to bear on the brittle facts of experience. That's understandable, I guess. There are a few Echo River stories I witnessed directly. I saw that big owl migration pass through. You might have heard about that. I was there when the old train station flooded. I saw the ghost of Stephen Bishop brew up a batch of white lightning on a raft. Or, anyway, I talked to a few sailors who recently crossed paths with him. And I suspect sampled his wares. One night when I was working on the Mucky Mammoth, we picked up a gaggle of passengers headed down to a mall drop by the silo of Late Reflection. I knew a couple of them in passing, a pair of traveling musicians whom I often encountered on the river. The others were strangers to me at the time, a young woman, a small boy, and an old man whose name I didn't catch. Oh, and a smelly old dog. Hey! We docked at a gas station so the Mammoth could refuel. Ezra stayed on the tugboat and looked around the map room. Ezra followed Junebug and Johnny into the gas station. That's an odd choice. Act 4, Scene 2. A gas station. We cut it close. I usually find this place upriver. Everybody's on the lake tonight. The gas station moves around? Sure, it's not anchored or anything. Could be anywhere up and down the Echo. You just kind of run into it when you need it, or hopefully a little before you need it. I usually stop here once a night, though to be honest, I'm not sure it's even the same one. It doesn't have a name or anything. I never really pay attention to who's behind the counter. Anyway, it's nice to see you two. Most of my regular passengers must have gotten held up elsewhere in their journey tonight. It's that storm, I think. Watching Ezra sprint past. Look at him go. That kid has a lot of energy. It's got to be past his bedtime or something, right? I don't think he has a bedtime. He's a maverick. Sounds familiar. You don't have any of your own, I mean. No, I guess not. I just realized, you two come through here so often, we chat about all kinds of stuff, but I never thought to ask about family. We're all the family we need. That's sweet. So, how about that storm upstairs? Did you two get caught in it? I heard it kind of roamed around uncertain. I'm sure we'll hear about it tomorrow. Flooding, property damage, probably killed a few tomatoes. It's got the river churning and everyone headed to the lake here, where the water is calmer. I myself don't mind navigating the choppy river, not at all. I got a good feel for it. Plus it's better for fungal growth. High water consumes the cave moths, and their wet wings clump together into these little balls of nutrient-dense mushroom food, jammed by current here and there between the rocks. You've never seen a mushroom grow like a soggy cave moth carcass. Amazing. If I could get a day off, Val and I would be out there all day tomorrow to harvest. I mean it. They'll be ready by tomorrow. A mushroom will grow just as fast as you can pump water into it. Hey, are you two headed out this way tomorrow? Maybe I could send Val ashore with you for a few hours. She's got a remarkable nose for mushrooms. You wouldn't even need to know what to look for. Put a bag around her neck and she'll just bring them back to you. Yeah. We don't know where we'll be tomorrow. That is so true. I should have figured. Since you two are always on the move. It does seem that way. Silence. So, I should get back aboard. No rush. I just want to brew some tea before we get underway. Headed into the station? Thought I'd grab some black coffee for the old man. He's looking a bit waterlogged. Sure, don't want him falling asleep on you. Nah, he'll be alright. He seems like the type who can hold his liquor. Seems like he has a little experience, I mean. Yeah, he does. Hey, while you're in there, could you remind the gas station attendant this fuel is on my tab? Charged to the Mucky Mammoth. Oh, and Will wanted a scratch ticket. Thanks. Wait. That damn plane. Is that the damn plane that those folks was pushing down the road? Like in chapter 1? How the hell did they make it here? Well, that is some serious dedication. Oh, and Will wanted a scratch ticket. Thanks. I think I'll just watch the lake for a bit, ma'am. Why is it making that sound? It sounds like a tape player. Johnny and Val. What do you think of that other dog we've got on board, Val? Blue's is a sleepy old hound dog. I know she isn't doing any mushroom hunting, that's for sure. Weird cave fungus growing on soggy moth wings. Sounds kind of romantic, but also kind of gross, right? So, would you like to ride with us for a day? I guess you'd miss Kate, even just for a day. Nah, guess it's settled anyway. Nice to think about, though. Looking for crystals? Why do you assume I'm looking for crystals? We've got them on sale. All kinds of folks come in here looking for crystals. There's a few over there with milky white shocks through the middle, like you caught a piece of a cloud. People seem to like those a lot. Yep. Popular crystals. You work on the mammoth? I can add it to your tab. Oh, you know the tugboat? The Captain Kate said I'd have to remind you. Sure, they're here every night. It's okay. I have one of those faces. Forgettable. Does it bother you? I've learned to cherish it. There's dignity in being forgotten, letting the crowd flow around you unspoiled. I used to live in a real city, Cleveland, Ohio. I had some family money then. I didn't have to work. Lived in hotels. In daylight, I walked wherever the people were. My only duty was to the crowd. I was its observer, its historian, its detective, its poet. Well, the money ran out, and I dispersed with the rest of them. I took my duties with me here, to Lake Leith and the Echo River. I lived behind this counter, anonymous, invisible, but I lived with dignity. And yourself? Sure, something like that. I like to keep moving. Yeah, that's the way to do it. I can't help it. Myself, I travel at the pleasure of the current. We keep all the crystals on that shelf over there. Buy one, get one free, of equal or lesser symmetry. The crystals are rough, dirty. Some are damp. They must have come out of the river. That attendant is a trip. Letting the crowd flow around you unspoiled, he said. Anonymous, invisible, but I live with dignity. Junebug tries to scrape some green algae off a larger specimen, examining it for the kind of cloudy inner formation the attendant said was so popular. Who knows? Maybe he's onto something. Q. And a few numbers are woven through the algae. But what has to happen to a person to make them think that way? This isn't algae at all. It's a decayed plastic bag caught on the rock. To the attendant, Norm. Shit, that floodwater washed you halfway up out of sea. I was looking for you down by the new Konigsberg, same as usual, but ain't nobody there. The river's deep as an elephant's. Noticing Junebug. Oh, didn't see you there. There, ma'am. Pardon my language. What elephant? Haha. Alright, you're no paper flower, I see that. Extending his hand warmly. I expect you must be Loretta. Enchanted to meet you. Sorry, I'm late. Hey, is that coming on too flowery or something? Enchanted? Repeating it now? I feel a little silly. Enchanted sounds pretty old-fashioned. Is that the kind of gal Loretta is? I guess I don't know. But now I'm double embarrassed. You picked a funny place to meet. You're probably right about that. I guess I thought it'd be like a neutral territory. We both live on the river. It's not very romantic though, is it? I mean, living on a river is romantic. It's like Venice or something. I met Loretta on the computer. Wait, what? We met each other there. I mean, or I guess we spoke through the computer and agreed to meet? I don't know the terminology. I haven't dated in quite a while. Back when I met Greta, that's my wife. Excuse me, my ex. Or maybe I am her ex. I don't know how to say it. Wait, what? Okay. Okay, that's a lot to unpack there. I am so confused by the time period of this game because most of the stuff on here looks very old. But then he said they met on a computer. I mean, I know they have computers, but it seemed like those are really old computers, like the 90s and shit. Like Windows 95 is running on this stuff. You know, the most advanced game they probably have is Oregon Trail. Okay, anyway. Anyway, back then there wasn't even such a thing as computers at all. I mean, I guess there probably was, but I never heard of one. And I worked in textiles. Matter of fact, Shannon even had like a old brick cell phone, and like, that's the 80s. God, I'm so confused. Or maybe she just had a really big Samsung. I don't know. Or a Huawei. So here I am. Didn't work out with Greta. She left me. I'm sure I can't blame her. Damn it all. I guess I probably missed her. I wonder if she'll agree to meet me again. Better than me. I don't want to meet any of my exes. Well, I think I'm friends with one of my exes, but other than that, nah. They don't exist. Let me see. I'm sure she'll understand. Whether I wouldn't if I thought I'd be stood up. Can't say I would either. You're probably right. Well, I guess I'll head on back. Hey, supposing Loretta doesn't want to see me after all. My card is full. Oh, no, sorry. That's not what I meant. Actually, I wanted to ask you for some advice. I had to type up a sort of autobiography for the computer date. And I spent a lot of time on it, but I only got one reply. And that was Loretta herself. I was happy to meet her, but supposing she lost interest now. Do you think you could maybe give me some feedback? It's only a paragraph or so. I have it all memorized. I spent so damn long writing it. Wow. I think the first time I did anything online, it took me like all of 10 minutes. I didn't even put that much effort into it. Yeah. Looking back on it, probably should have put more effort into it, but maybe not that long. Okay, here's how it goes. I'm a good-natured man, retired, spend most of my time sailing the Echo River, riding currents of subterranean gas and that strange invisible wind that moans out of the small tunnels along the bank. Seeking a companion to map the river with me. I have 2 grown children, but they live far away. No goofballs. Okay, what do you think? You know, that's actually better than like 90% of people's profiles I've ever read. Hell, that's probably better than my profile. Wow, I'm kind of hurt now. Jesus. The thing with the wind probably is a little too much. Yeah, you'll be fine. Well, alright then. Sounds like I'm ready to get back on that computer. You have a good night. Now, what's left of it anyway. Yep, I think it's about time to go ahead and change my Tinder profile. I haven't been on Tinder in God knows how long. Jesus Christ, it's been about a year. What's that? It's a crystal. I bought it for you. Wow, thank you, ma'am. Hey, could you hold on to it for a minute? I'm going to look around inside. Wish me luck. Good luck. So we just taking turns now? Junebug and Val. Did my Johnny talk your ear off out here? Or, nah, I'll go with big plans for the night. Big plans for the night? Us, I think we'll just see where the river goes, and at what pace. No sense rushing it, right? You can't rush the river. Kind of reminds me of a saying I heard on one of my favorite animes, Nana. How did it go again? Yeah, it's on my Facebook profile somewhere. Anyway, continue on. This is not the time to be reminiscing. Again, it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, so. Hey man, how's your night? Quiet. Where you headed? Helping some new friends make a delivery, or along for the ride anyway. Well, even if you're not doing the heavy lifting, or navigating, or whatever, a passenger contributes to a journey too. I never travel, but I do love travelers. That's what I like about this job. The travelers come to me. Do you ever get lonely here? Yeah, I do. Well, let me know if I can help you find anything. Okay, straight to the point. What in the hell? Ow. Glory, it is good to be among friends. That is one whole word. Okay, suit yourself. What are you so excited about? I can't help it. Every time I step into that boat alone, I think this could be the very last time. And then every time I come ashore back among people, I think solemnly, Glory, it is good to be among friends. Why get on the boat in the first place then? It's a ritual of remembrance for me. Tonight particularly so. It's my birthday. I am 5 years old. Do you know why I say that? Well, I'm gonna tell you. I feel like this is a normal conversation in the South. You didn't ask anything, you just got talked into it. 5 years and some days ago, I set out on the Echo River, alone, so I thought at the time. I was looking for an ice floe. They are occasionally rumored to travel our humble artery on their way from who knows where to who knows where. Who knows why? It's a mystery. An hour into the journey, my lantern gave out. Now, I always carry 3 or 4 spares. You'll never catch me in the dark again. Lesson learned, buddy. But that night, when the lantern went out, I was stuck in the dark. I kept my arm extended, running my fingers along the cave wall, trying to keep my bearings as best I could, and at least make sure I wasn't going in circles. I just prayed I'd find another traveler who knew his way back to the lake or above ground, or even just a crack in the rock to get a glimpse of moonlight. I had a large bag of apples with me. After a long while, maybe a day, I was getting weak, so I took my hand down from the rock to tear the bag open. Well, when I reached back out, I couldn't find that cave wall anymore, or any other. I was totally unmoored, buddy. Totally adrift. And it was so dark. I started counting time and apples eaten. I drifted in despair for 4 apples. Then I schemed and planned and dreamed for 2 apples. Finally, I came to accept my fate. Lost at sea. And this phase, I think, would have continued indefinitely had I not come down to the very last damn apple. This sounds like a very odd math problem. I swear to God if this game gives me a math problem with apples. Picture me, feeling around in an empty bag, certain that somehow there was another one of those fist-sized chunks of life-giving fruit, already softened by the time softened by the time, and probably an unappetizing brown. Nope, that was it. Just as I was about to bite into my last meal, I felt a tickle on my upper lip. It hatched right then. Couldn't have been a moment later, or I would have eaten it. My last apple was infested by a damn fruit fly maggot. Well, that should have been the end of it. I should have eaten that apple and that fly while I was at it, and put an end to our little food chain suicide pact. But I waited, out of mercy. After all, this fly was basically a newborn child, right? A gross insect child, but still a child, right? Born into darkness and famine, hungry and alone. I mean, can you imagine that? No other flies out there on the boat, and never would be. No other flies to welcome him into the world. I mean, no fly culture, no fly society, no fly history. A true orphan. Oh God. Oh God. This guy. This is a guy you would run into like a gas station in the middle of bumfuck Alabama. Jesus. Also, fuck that fly. I'm sorry. If I'm hungry, I will eat anything that is on my damn plate. I am so sorry. I have said that so many times. I will be eating some food, and if a fly lands on my food, it gonna get it. Plain and simple. It better fly away. I started to get depressed just thinking about it all. Worked out a thick tear, I'm not ashamed to say. Well, that fly landed on my cheek, right under my left eye, right on that salty teardrop, and then blinding glory, his ass lit up like a candle. That wasn't a fly, buddy. That was a damn lightning bug. So that's how come I'm here today with you folks. Only because I found my way out of that strange river cave by the dim lit rear of some orphan insect hatched out of my last rotten apple. Okay, maybe it's trying to tell me some point there, but still I would ate the damn fly. Glory, it's good to be among friends. Jesus. Okay. Well, that was a nice story. Okay. I think I'm going to end it right there. Because yeah, it's been about 50 minutes or so. So, we'll get back onto the boat, I guess, in the next episode, and we'll continue our journey on up the Echo. So, thank you for watching. See ya.